Hello, everybody. This is episode 46 of In the Know, my daily short form podcast show, which is aimed at putting people in the know. A show where I cover a variety of topics using my experiences and viewpoints in life to put people in the know. What is the know? It's the understanding, and it seems to be hard for the people to grasp, which can make their lives a lot simpler. The following is an intro speech for today's topic, and that introduction speech is regarding being educated versus having an education. We all think that just because you have a college education, you must be someone who is educated. Well, that's not always the case. Some people personify this term we call an educated fool. See, being educated means going out receiving extensive education on the area of study which gives you more vast understanding of subject matter. The educated person simply means you receive your undergraduate degree and graduate degree from an accredited university under the guidance of faculty. Now, the big difference is the guidance of another person. In college, you're under the watchful eye and being critiqued based on their viewpoint of your understanding of a subject. When you have become educated, you can go into the field to further understand or debunk what you think have learned at an institution. Let's observe this a little bit more. Is being educated the same as having an education? Let's start with high school diplomas. When you graduate this level of education, you are only as smart as what you know about life up to that point. And that is not saying much about what it is that you know. Yes, you're much smarter than the middle schoolers and elementary school kids, but the educators, you are not because they have had to step into society and make something of themselves. So you have this first step in your major academic accomplishment, which really means not much in society, but something great in your household. The next level is literally only a few months after leaving high school, and from the moment you step onto a college campus, everything you did and where prior is irrelevant. As far as I and the world is concerned, it didn't even happen. Let's look at bachelor's degrees. This is the 4-year journey, which will go by just as fast as you got on campus. The first 2 years consist of refresher courses from high school, and then prerequisites you have to take before breaking into any of your majors. But does this mean you're an educated person? Not necessarily, because what you're pursuing in college that is of service to you and the society at large. What's the use of attaining this expensive sheet of paper if it ultimately does mean nothing to you? So you have to be able to do something with it. You can't just say, I am educated simply because I went to college. Now let's look at this master's degree. Here's the next level of education where you have to learn an advanced version of the undergraduate studies. Now they call it a master's degree, but what do you truly learn that you have mastered at this level? Because think about it, you can master anything in a 2 or 3 year period, which is the length of most graduate programs. You can't just get away with that. Now, maybe in the distant past, you had to master something. Then again, you were given more time than a few years. Now, medical school is something that could fall under the equation, but most people will say this goes into the next level of education. At this level, to me, it's more of the educated along with education. Now, most people don't aspire to receive their doctorate, yet this PhD is a degree means you went out to conduct extensive research on a topic at hand. This isn't just as some research on a book report in school like high school, undergraduate, or even grad school. Your sources will be checked with a fine-tooth comb because you have people whose research is published in periodicals across the country and around the globe. So you have a major setup in the world of being educated on your subject matter. But still, doesn't even stop there in life. Self-learning. Learning to be the person who does when no one expects you to do so. That is a powerful characteristic that you have to have because it will continue in handy when you know more than what people expect you to know. Because even attaining your PhD, you should know there's even more you will come to understand after you leave school that makes school look so small and trivial. And in addition, you have a timetable, whereas when you leave, the timetable is as long as you occupy this planet. And that is where we look next in the topic of education. Life experiences. When you step out into the world with the life experience, or lack thereof. There will be so many things that you have no clue as to how to handle, but over time you will learn how to do so. This is what I define as someone who is educated. See, going to school alone, or even no schooling at all, you can still be educated, because there is simply to be said something about someone going into the world and facing it without fears, or better knowing you have fears but not letting it bog you down. And through this, you can be successful beyond your wildest imaginations. What about the home? Growing up in a household where you have parents or a parent who prepared you for life is a great out of school education as well. See, because even though, for example, my mother did not have a college education, but the way she raised us and set us up for success was bar none. I wouldn't trade it for the world. The education in that house went beyond the classroom. It was an education in knowing how to fall and get up, knowing how to face fears and build connections with people. Now, this is a life so many didn't have when I was growing up and still don't. What about engaging in new perspectives? Whenever you step into the world, you want to increase your educational base, then it's best to broaden your horizons. People with an outlook on life that is different than yours should be welcome. It's not about you agreeing with the things they have to say. It's about being able to understand where someone may come from, even when you agree with what they have to say about the subject. See, people automatically link the word understanding with agreeing. Understand, once again, is simply knowing where the person is coming from and how to deal with that person. Inner circle and friendships. Who are the people you associate with that are going in the same direction as you? Says a lot about how strong your education base could be. Chances are, the people you hang around with, you will pick up on their energy that they put out. So if they go to college, you most likely will go to college. They step into the career landscape, and most likely you will follow. That is an educational move that could see you in a more successful space because you are following the pack of other building people, and that is a way to build your mental base as well. Traveling. As you earn in society, you should be out trying to move around the world. First, I would encourage you to travel to other places throughout your country. And once you have done this, then you should be out trying to meet people outside the country. You get a different perspective of the world by seeing how others live. You take their knowledge of how they live and operate and mix it with your base to create something even greater for the world. So, with this end statement, while we all have to know the difference between being educated and having an education. See, in life, people seem to think just because they went off to an accredited university, it means they know more than everyone else. It truly does not matter because when you step into life, you don't realize how little you know, which is odd considering you just spent all this time and energy getting this degree to be lost the day after graduation. But your education does not end with college ending. Educated means going beyond the classroom and being more than just school. It's stepping into life with what you know and applying it to society. Thanks for listening to In the Know. And can't wait to bring the next episode where we talk about why more money is not allocated to public schools like it should be nationwide.